welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Skye Orchard.
Our lives are boring apparently this past week because we have nothing to chat about, so we're going to go straight into it. I'll think of something in like 4 minutes. All right, our question of the week, Skye. Are you ready for this one? It's a good one.
Okay.
If our personalities got switched, how long would it take the people in your life? So who in your life would be the first one to notice, and how long would it take them to notice? It's tricky because we're not like complete polar opposites.
I do think Jill would probably notice first. And I think it would be because you like pink and cute things.
It's not a daily. I'm not like going out finding things on a daily basis and bringing them back.
I don't know there. Or like would somehow slip into like a Boy Meets World tangent together. And then that is not me.
That is probably what would do it. On my end, because I came up with this question, so I was thinking about it earlier. I don't think my mom would be the first one to notice. I think it would take her a while because your personality with my mom is a little different. And I think she'd just mostly be like, oh, Laura's not as snippy as usual. People at work might notice, but again, it would take a long time because nobody at my new job knows me that well yet. I think my sister would be the first one to notice, but I think it would take like a week because I don't see her that frequently. My other thought was like my parents might notice the first time you had to teach piano lessons for my kids because I usually walk away from that more energized and more upbeat.
Oh, I'm not patient.
I think that's how you would walk away from piano lessons with my kids.
That is not a C major chord. Get it together.
There's some nights where that's what comes out of my mouth. But for the most part, it's usually like Miss Honey from Matilda.
Oh, gosh. I've never actually seen Matilda, but I do know who Miss Honey is.
Not the musical, none of the stuff?
Correct.
Read the book?
Actually, no.
Okay, so add that to your list. And then like watch the old school movie, the one with, is it Mara Wilson?
I believe so, yeah.
And Danny DeVito. And then watch the musical because it's adorable.
Ugh.
You might walk away identifying with Miss Trunchbull, but you know.
Potential Halloween costume? Who knows?
Oh, that would be a good one. That would actually be really good. Okay, let's get into our episode.
Let's do it.
This is season 2, episode 19, When Teens Collide. Guess what? We have a Hulu description again because it's back on Hulu. And I watched it and I was like, I should have still watched it on Pluto because I don't know if the music's different. So I don't know if I'll actually watch it on Hulu. Our TV guide description: sunspots cause havoc with witches as Sabrina and Libby change personalities, which Salem takes advantage of. Our Paramount Plus / Hulu is the same description, which I feel like I wish I would have known that way back when Hulu first stopped airing it, because then we could have just read the Paramount Plus ones earlier and known that that's what Hulu was, because I whined a lot about the Hulu descriptions being gone.
I mean, we might need to compare over a couple instances to be scientific about it, but yeah, probably.
But I think the Paramount Plus and the Pluto ones are the same. So I think all the streaming ones have the same one. So that description is: when Sabrina switches personalities with Libby, she uses her magic and newly found popularity. And I feel like that sentence just kind of ends. I was expecting she uses it to do something.
Yeah, I actually like TV Guide more.
Yeah, same. Even though it does end a sentence with the word of.
There's bigger fish out there right now in this world.
Including one we're going to see in this episode. It originally aired March 6, 1998. Gary Halverson is directing again. Sheldon Bull is our writer, and he wrote Inagata Sabrina and Meeting Dad's Girlfriend. We have some guest stars, with a lot of them returning. So Henry Gibson is returning as our witch judge, and we'll see him in 2 more episodes. Not in 2 episodes from now, but he'll be in a total of 2 more episodes. Chris Rogg is our TV newscaster, and that is his only credit. Elizabeth Hart returns as Emma. We haven't seen her for a hot minute.
When did we last see her?
I think it was season 1.
Because I do not remember this chick.
Oh, she was like in the very first couple episodes. I remember she was in the Magic Joel episode and she was trying to tell Sabrina about her soccer team, and Sabrina just like kept ignoring her.
Soccer girl. Okay.
Yeah. Last time we saw her was in episode 12, Trial by Fury of season 1. So she's in 3 of season 1 episodes, and this is her first season 2. And it's played by Melissa Joan Hart's sister. Cece Michaela is back as Cece. Bridget Flannery is back as Jill. Then we have Sylvain Cecile as the executioner from You Wish and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Jeremy Garrett as the football player from Buffy, Sweet Valley High, Ally McBeal in NCIS, Wayne Alexander as Claude, one of the string trio people, from Babylon 5, The X-Files, Frasier, and The Twilight Zone, Poncho Deming as the witch policeman. He's also returning. He was in The Great Mistake and was, I think, the witch policeman there. Lastly, we have Jeffrey Stephen Smith as Pizza Boy from Buffy, California Dreams, Sliders, and The Pretender. What are your overall thoughts on this episode, Skye?
So remember my guess last week? My fantastic guess saying we could have an amoeba. We literally could have had an amoeba-like situation.
We could have, yes.
I'm so sad. Also, I wish we had seen, having met Libby's mother, her mother's reaction to a very nice, cheerful Libby. I think that could have been a very fun moment.
We didn't see nearly enough of how Sabrina's personality and Libby's body actually affected Libby. It was very, very short little moments, and I wish we would have seen much more of that.
But overall, a nice take on like a body swap with doing personality instead, and Salem had a good little plot line as well.
The Salem puppet, I noticed much more now that I know it's a new puppet. Like his ears move now, which I don't think we've seen before.
They also have like distinct cartilage, which the previous ones did not.
Cats don't have distinct cartilage though, right? Mine doesn't.
Not regularly. Originally, I was like, those are some very veiny ears, but then I realized it's supposed to be at least cartilage.
Our cold open starts with Sabrina shoving cans of food into her book bag for the food drive at school, much to Salem's displeasure.
Charity begins at home. In fact, in my mind, it begins in the cat dish.
To make it up to him, she zaps him in a huge fish and he starts digging in. Our outfit intro is potentially the worst outfit intro of all of them.
Not great.
Sabrina is in a what's supposed to be geisha outfit. And she says, please remove your shoes and enjoy our show in a very terrible accent. We're good with never seeing this one again.
Agreed.
And I was kind of worried that this is the road we were going to go down when we started doing like traditional outfits from other countries. And sure enough, this is where that road took us.
Flip a bitch on that road. Go the other way.
What did you say?
Flip a bitch?
Oh, what? I've never heard that saying before.
Turn around.
I've never heard it called that before.
Oh, I say it frequently.
Good to know. That's what would give it away if we swapped personality. Oh, man. My question of the week post this week is going to be, what would be your tells if on the podcast if Skye and Laura swap personalities? Sabrina yells at Hilda to drive her to school. Hilda is rushing to get downstairs, and she and Zelda bump into each other. Hilda talks about how nervous she is for her string trio audition as she comes down. Sabrina points out that she has an extra arm. Hilda freaks out and calls for Zelda, who comes down, missing an arm. It was like so obvious that Beth's arm was inside her shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, Zelda's a lot wider than she usually is. They all run to the TV where it is announced that sunspots are causing molecular instability. And Sabrina asks, what's this? And Hilda answers, the Witch Channel. And I was like, but hasn't Sabrina seen the witch news before?
She sure has, because we had our fantastic chicken and a tie friend who we do not get, and I am very upset.
Was Sabrina actually in the room for that scene?
I think so.
Okay. Also, one of our followers on social media sent us a chicken in a tie suit thing that you need to look at, Skye. Like an actual real chicken. And she was like, look, I found the chicken.
Nice.
Zelda goes to look up the spell to put their arms back, so Sabrina has to go to school on the bus. Sabrina doesn't want to go to school and risk having issues with sunspots. Zelda tells her she still has to go because they don't know how sunspots will affect her as a half-mortal.
Which I feel like is the reason Sabrina should stay home, but okay, Zelda.
Absolutely.
For being the scientist, Zelda sometimes doesn't think logically.
This is back to the early season 1 parenting styles where they're just kind of like, well, best of luck. Try to be careful. But if something bad happens, oh, well, like, okay. This real c'est la vie attitude. Sabrina is disappointed by the science club's lack of cans, although Valerie brought some licorice.
They're not can people.
So licorice. Sabrina dumps her cans in, shaking her bag vigorously. Valerie asks how she got her hair to do that. Sabrina's ponytail has moved. She runs off while Valerie tries shaking her hair.
Valerie gets in about 3 headbangs before she's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to pass out. Do not go to concerts Valerie.
She would not survive at a metal show.
Not at all.
Sabrina takes her ponytail off at her locker just as Harvey shows up with a bag of cans. She takes them and he points out the hair in her hand. She covers by calling it a wig before running off. And I think Harvey has a new haircut.
Crisper.
It looked very, like, military.
Maybe the camo band shirt from last week really, really spoke to him. Also, he offers her duct tape to fix it back into place.
I love that.
That's not what you want to put in your hair, Harvey.
Harvey has so little to do in this episode, and it's mostly just his facial expressions that amused me. Libby is bragging about the canned foods that cheerleaders have collected to Mr. Kraft, and inside their bin was a couple of jars of Peter Pan peanut butter, which I have not seen in a long time. They decide to turn the food drive into a competition.
Because the idea of charity seems so un-American to Mr. Kraft.
Not wrong.
Haven't gone much further.
I know. We've discussed it before, but this is just proving more and more Libby would 100% be MAGA.
Yeah.
There's also a new anti-smoking poster. That's actually not new. It was just in earlier episodes where I wasn't paying attention to the posters. It says, how can smoking be the thing to do if most of your friends aren't doing it? And high school me would have said, because none of my friends are cool. We flip to Sabrina complaining about making the food drive a competition. Harvey points out that her ponytail is now stuck to her back. Mr. Kraft has decided to award the club that collects the most food a prize and walks off. Hilda's audition went fine, but now they want to come over and see her or to make sure she's not nuts. Zelda reassures her that they'll both be charming, and Zelda has a lovely vase of flowers that she's arranging, and then she takes it and puts it on the piano with the cover open.
I thought of you during that moment.
What happens if you tip that vase over and now there's water and flowers in the strings of your piano?
It's a good thing they're witches and can probably just zap it away.
The abuse of this piano is wild. Ugh. Okay. Hilda isn't convinced and sinks into the couch, literally. Zelda runs off to get the magic book again. If she's just going to zap the magic book, why does she have to go to the kitchen to zap the magic book? Stay in the living room and zap the magic book to the living room.
Because that would be logical.
Maybe half of her brain got lost with her arm.
Nice.
Sabrina is telling Valerie how she's going to talk to Libby about how competition is not in the spirit of charity. Valerie replies, and then whack her with a can? And I was like, I like this, Valerie. Libby is leaving her cheerleader friends to make the perfect late entrance to somewhere, but we don't know. As she walks away, her and Sabrina bump into each other, causing clouds to float out of them and switch into the other one. Suddenly, Sabrina is mean and Libby is nice as they walk away from each other. Sabrina is complaining about the lunch food to Harvey and then groans when Valerie walks over to sit with them. Harvey asks is there something wrong with her. Valerie sits down to Sabrina's displeasure, and Libby comes over to offer to buy them all dessert. Valerie is surprised by how nice this is, and Sabrina tells her to just marry Libby. And judging by Harvey's facial expressions in this scene, I think he puts together the personality swap way before anyone else does. This boy knows something is up.
Wait, he's just cool with this paranormal personality swap?
Honestly, this boy is so accepting of all of the terrible excuses they have given him thus far. Like the VR game when he was being chased by a witch.
Soon to come hologram.
I think he could have justified it somehow in his mind that Sabrina and Libby swapped personalities and that's just normal.
His brain is a little addled.
He would absolutely gaslight himself. Libby's cheerleader friends mock a girl's outfit, but Libby tells them to stop and goes over to Emma to give her a hug. Sabrina instead comes over and makes fun of Emma's outfit as the cheerleaders laugh and asks if she wants to go to the mall. Sabrina is roughly petting Salem as she reads her magic book. She can't believe she never does anything with her power. She summons the captain of the football team to grovel at her feet, then zaps him away again. Salem tries to warn her, but Sabrina angrily tells him to put a sock in it. And the cake sandwich ceramic thingy is officially gone.
We have a very clear shot of the cauldron. For Cauldron Watch, there is no upside down stapler anymore. There are 2 pairs of scissors. The fluffy pen is gone as well. It's all practical pens. It would be even more practical if none of those items were in the cauldron.
That made me think of the corn in the cauldron conversation. Are you going to Corn Bellies?
We were going to go yesterday and it rained.
Yeah.
We'll see if I make it to my giant pit of corn. I do have like a little plastic baggie of corn kernels by my bedside. sort of like in case of emergency open. It's not the same.
What? I need to back up like 5 steps here. Now, how big of a bag? Show me with your hands. Like, are we talking like a small sandwich Ziploc bag or like a gallon Ziploc bag?
A small sandwich, but a gallon would be even better.
Is it like just sitting on top of your nightstand or is it like in a drawer? Is it like next to your pillow?
It's in a basket next to my lamp for ease of grabbing.
Under what circumstances do you grab the bag of corn kernels?
Oh no, when you need to calm down, it's nice to just like run them through your hands and I don't know, instead of touch grass, touch corn.
You can stop me if this is uncomfortable, but I just have some questions. Do they stay in the bag and you like rub the bag between your hands, or do you like open the bag and you stick your hand in the bag with the corn?
Whichever is calling to your soul that day.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this deep part of your personality with me.
Y'all know my brain ain't normal, so...
I was also going to tell you, we're taking Mary to the Wheeler Farm fall festival harvest thing that they have going on. And they are supposedly having some corn type something down there. So when I go on Saturday, if there's a corn pit, I will take a picture and let you know. You
got to go into the corn pit and embrace the corns.
I will try to be that free.
The corns are calling.
That just triggered the image of, did you ever watch Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt?
Mm-hmm.
The baby corns?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get off corn. I had corn for dinner tonight.
Nice.
All right, we're into a montage because we can't do an episode without a montage. Sabrina zaps cans out of the cheerleader bin and into the science club bin. She changes her grade on a test, and the boy behind her has on a lot of rings. She walks past Harvey and Valerie in the lunchroom, then causes Libby to drop her tray before changing her food into a shrimp cocktail.
Which reminded me that Sarah responded to our ketchup and asparagus and said that if you try broccoli and ketchup, it tastes like a shrimp cocktail. So for anyone who wants to be adventurous, I will try it at some point soon.
You gotta try the asparagus and ketchup too.
I do. I cooked asparagus tonight, so I just need to actually film it and do it. And then I have candy corns, and I'm gonna do that as well. So social media content, the candy corns are coming.
Yeah, nice. Mr. Kraft starts towards Sabrina the plaque for the food drive, but Sabrina stops him and calls the cafeteria to pay attention. Sabrina gleefully takes the award and takes the credit for winning. Valerie and Harvey watch on with disappointment. Sabrina is complaining about how she should run the school as Jill and Cece follow her. They tell her they want her to take charge like Libby used to, as they watch her at a table collecting money to help the blind. Jill and Cece compliment Sabrina, telling her that everyone is afraid of her and she has the power. Sabrina daydreams entering the school as a princess, collecting awards as people applaud her, making a snarky remark to Valerie on the way, and she says, like, what are you looking at? And I was really waiting for her to say, what are you looking at, freak? Because that's what Libby would have said. Missed opportunity. And the school changes its name to Sabrina Spellman High School. She comes out of her daydream and decides to use her power for the good of herself. Mr. Kraft tries to tell her to get to class, and she zaps his pants, causing them to fall down, then locks him out of the library when he tries to escape. Zelda runs into the living room panicking. Molecular instability has caused a small black hole in the kitchen sink, but the string trio is on their way to visit. Sabrina walks in and asks if there's anything she can do to help, then goes upstairs having successfully fooled them. Zelda is sure they can still make it work, but Hilda points out all the places the mortals can't go or sit in the house and is not convinced.
So, black hole is in the sink, but she also mentions it swallowed up the kitchen table. So is it just very strong small black hole and the kitchen table went flying into it? Or is it actually larger than the kitchen sink?
But also not so strong that it's starting to affect things in the living room where they are.
Yeah.
I'm going with it sucked the table into the sinkhole. That feels right to me.
Do black holes expand as they take in more matter?
I don't know. That was a physics thing. I don't do physics things.
In my brain it does, but I'm not going down a black hole. Continue.
Sabrina is searching for a spell to take over her high school. Salem feeds into this and encourages her to try to take over the world, and she starts to daydream about it. The mortals have arrived, and Zelda and Hilda cautiously greet them. Meanwhile, Sabrina has maps covering her room as she plots her takeover to Salem's delight. Libby and Harvey arrive at Sabrina's house with an apple brown Betty that Libby baked.
I never heard the phrase apple brown Betty for like an apple crisp. Found it
is that what it is? Because I was just going to look it up.
It's basically an apple crisp.
I really want to make an apple crisp. but I have other treats I need to make first. My mom made pumpkin chocolate chip cookies today, and I have enough to last a while. Zelda and Hilda serve tea around the piano. I'm not even going to comment on this because I already had my rant earlier. Can't. And she covers by saying Hilda can't bear to be separated from her instruments. One of the trio makes a terrible joke, and they all fake laugh as the doorbell rings. Hilda answers the door, but it disappears. She tries to cover by saying it's a hologram. Sabrina is in her room giving a pep talk to some soldiers when Zelda calls up that she has visitors. Sabrina tells Salem to see who it is and get rid of them, but he doesn't know how he can do that as a cat. Sabrina yells at him that he has teeth.
Claws too.
That was the other thing that I was like, this is how my parents would know if we switched personalities. And it'd be if I ever clipped Mabel's claws by myself without calling my dad over, my dad would instantly become suspicious. Meanwhile, Zelda stops one of the visitors from sitting on the couch as Salem comes down yowling. Libby picks him up and pets him, causing him to get distracted as he enjoys the petting. Harvey wonders if Sabrina heard Zelda call for her, and Zelda goes upstairs to get Sabrina as Salem goes after her to try and stop her, while Hilda is going to give the visitors a tour. That was a very long run-on sentence. That was not my best work. Zelda walks in on Sabrina and the soldiers, freaking out. Hilda is showing the visitors the upstairs. Why was that a good idea for Hilda to be like, hey, our house is like kind of going crazy. You know where a great place to go is? Right by the linen closet that connects to a whole other realm. Let's take these mortals up here.
Should have gone to the dungeon / sewing room / nuclear bunker.
So Hilda is showing the visitors the upstairs when police run out of the linen closet heading for Sabrina's room. Hilda excuses herself and follows after them. Sabrina is getting arrested for plotting to take over the world. Hilda leaves, saying she might as well let the mortals sit on the couch now. She herds them back downstairs, down the hidden staircase.
Snobby man and the trio says, where did all those police officers come from? Which Hilda shouts back, there's a donut shop upstairs.
That was in the middle of a sentence. While Sabrina gets dragged to the other realm. Zelda doesn't understand what's gotten into her. Zelda approaches Salem, wondering what he had to do with this, and he just sobs in response. Hilda shoves her guests out the door, saying she knows she didn't get accepted, and ignores Harvey, who is still standing there with the cake container, as Libby, who calls out that it was just so special meeting you. Which I don't think that's a thing actually Sabrina would say.
No, there's a couple things that Sabrina, I feel like, wouldn't actually do.
They made it that Sabrina's just like this like Pollyanna, sweet, over-the-top kind person, which she is nice. She is, kind, but like she's also snarky sometimes. And she also can be like kind of feisty sometimes. Like she's not always like, it was so special meeting you. Like, no.
She's not buying everyone dessert.
No. Hilda joins Zelda upstairs for Sabrina's trial that starts in 5 minutes, and they're off to the other realm. The judge calls the court to order and announces that Sabrina has been found guilty. There was a woman in the audience too. I needed to pause it because all of the outfits were wild in the other realm, but she had like ram horns.
The ram's horn headpiece, yeah.
It was huge. It wasn't just like little buns. It was like, that thing was like 3 feet wide.
Maybe she's the person when someone's sentenced to be a ram.
Oh, I like that. Zelda and Hilda can't figure out what's going on with Sabrina. She is sentenced to 100 years as a witch familiar, specifically a cat, which does answer a question. Can you get turned into other things? So it just needs to be some sort of a familiar. Zelda and Hilda object on the grounds that the judge is mean. Salem is still sobbing about what he did, and he's sitting on a bench that I don't know if we've ever seen before, but it's like directly across from where the linen closet door is. He starts longing for his old Sabrina. He wonders if Libby is still downstairs, then starts to put it together that their personalities got switched. He needs to get to the trial, but can't open the door. So he tries to crash his way through the door because of molecular instability, but gets stuck halfway.
During this section is when Meadow, our primarily black tortie cat, would not look away from the TV, and I think is enamored with Mr. Salem.
Sabrina is on the chopping block, and Zelda and Hilda can't watch as Sabrina taunts the judge again. Did you see the executioner's axe was like a cat head?
That was really great.
Salem gets out of the door and uses the phone to call for a pizza delivery from the other realm and ask for crazy bread. When the delivery guy arrives, Salem runs through the open linen closet door. He shows up at the trial just in time to stop Sabrina from being turned into a cat. And the executioner, or the cat-cutioner, that sounded better in my head.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Executioner. Turned him into a cat 30 years ago. Very clear, 1968. Yep, we got that one. He claims he has new evidence that can clear Sabrina of all charges. Libby is dusting the piano while Harvey flips through a magazine when Zelda, Hilda, and Sabrina return. What was the conversation they had where Harvey was just like, yeah, I guess we're just gonna hang out here while there's like crashing, running around, stomping noises upstairs, and then silence after a thunderclap?
Yeah, it's surprising he doesn't go up to Sabrina's room because we've seen them have a pillow fight up there.
Yeah. And I can see like apparently brain dead Libby being like, oh, let's just keep waiting. But like, what was Harvey's rationale in that to be like, yeah, sure, we'll just stay here.
His brain.
Hilda tells all three teens to close their eyes, and Zelda starts chanting in Latin. Hilda stops her to remind her that the mortals are present. And I was like, can Harvey not spell the word mortals?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
So instead, Zelda pushes Libby and Sabrina together. Everyone opens their eyes and the personalities are switched back. Sabrina is back to her cheerful self while Libby insults the house. Libby tries to walk through the front door hologram, but smacks into the door instead.
Libby probably can't remember much of what just happened. And so once again, she is waking up in this strange house. Probably feeling like she's being kidnapped a couple times.
This is the third time? Oh, poor Libby. Well,
Yeah.
it's the third time that we've seen, because remember when Sabrina turns her into a goat and then she goes into the mirror and the ants turn Libby back? Did the ants bring goat Libby back to the house and turn her back in the house?
Probably.
I mean, I kind of don't blame Libby for not liking Sabrina at this point.
Right? And she's like, this house is so weird and it's very valid.
I would also think that the girl whose house I kept blackout waking up from was a freak.
Agreed.
In our end tag, Harvey and Sabrina leave to get pizza with Valerie. Sabrina asks the ants about everything that happened and if it was real, but decides she doesn't really want to know. Which I guess at least Libby's stuff that she has to remember is more just like, oh, I raised money for the blind and I offered to buy dessert for people and I baked an apple brown Betty. Like, so it's not like horrific stuff she has to like kind of remember.
I mean, I think all of that is sort of horrific too. Our dear friend Libby.
Zelda apologized to Hilda that she didn't get a spot in the trio, and they go to drop big things down the black hole in the sink to feel better. Zelda wonders where Salem is so she can thank him for the saving the day and yell at him for starting the whole thing. Salem is on the hamper, sitting inside of the pizza box, and he eats the pizza. He sobs after eating the whole thing. I think this is going to be one of our shortest episodes.
It might be. I think, was it Finger Lickin' Flu that ended up being very, very short?
Yeah, that one wasn't super long. I just didn't have anything to chat about this time.
It was all very, very quick scenes again and not like much depth to any of it.
There was one thing that I was surprised you didn't talk about because I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'll let Skye look it up and tell me. Because it was like, you could be polishing something irons or something. Do you remember that?
It was andirons, which is metal supports, like holds wood in the fireplace sort of scenario.
I don't know. It said irons, and I was like, Skye's on it.
It wasn't very exciting, so.
Okay. That was the other thing that I was like, people would know if I had turned into Skye's personality if I started talking about like weapons, like swords. If I started spouting off sword facts, then we would know. Our next episode is season 2, episode 20, My Nightmare, the Car. Skye, what's it about?
Sabrina finally gets the car she's been whining about for 2 seasons now. Did that start in season 1?
No, I think it just
Season
started
2?
in this season, yeah.
Okay. An entire season about. She finally gets it. It's like the couches, though. It can talk. And it can be creepy like the couches as well.
Do you want to write that one down? I don't know if you'll like this one or not. You'll like either think it's fun or you'll hate it.
Like the couches you sit on, whatnot, they speak. But this you're actually climbing inside of it. And I'm not sure how I feel about that.
That's a little bit more of a disturbing twist to it when you put it that way. Oh, man. Well, join us next week to see if Skye is correct. In the meantime, like, share, rate, subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod and TikTok at something.witchy.pod to see the MSG candy corn video that will go up eventually. And until next time,
Stay magical.